Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Maybe you found yourself searching for your glasses only to realize they were right on your head the whole time. Don't worry, you're not alone. Moments like these happen to all of us, especially as the years add up. And while we may chuckle at them, they can sometimes leave us wondering, is my brain just not as sharp as it used to be? Here's the good news, your brain is not a muscle, but it sure does act like one. The more you use it, the stronger and sharper it can stay. And the even better news? You don't need a fancy app or glowing screen to keep it in shape. In fact, some of the best brain games, the ones that actually work, can be done right from your favorite armchair, your kitchen table, or even during your morning walk. So today, we're going to have a chat about 5 brain-boosting games that are simple, screen-free, and, most importantly, fun. These aren't just little time fillers, they're real mental workouts that can help you stay sharp, focused, and confident, well beyond 70. Let's get into the first one that might surprise you. Have you ever tried telling a story backward? I'm not talking about rewinding a movie in your head, but actually picking a simple memory and telling it from the end to the beginning. It sounds a bit odd at first, but this is a powerful brain exercise. Think about something familiar, like making your morning cup of tea. Start at the moment you're sitting down with the warm mug in your hand. Then, step by step, go backwards, putting the kettle away, pouring the water, steeping the bag, turning on the stove. What this does is force your brain to engage in reverse sequencing. It's like walking backwards down a familiar path. It requires more attention, more thought, and more coordination. And the best part? You can do it anywhere, anytime. Waiting in line at the grocery store? Run through your morning in reverse. Sitting on the porch? Take a moment to rewind a pleasant memory. It's simple, free, and gives your mind a mini workout without needing anything more than your imagination. Now, let's talk about a second brain game, one that turns your shopping list into a mental playground. Picture this, you're planning your weekly groceries. Instead of jotting everything down, challenge yourself to remember the list, but with a twist. Create a silly or strange story using all the items you need. Say you need eggs, carrots, and soap. In your mind, imagine a chicken laying carrot-shaped eggs in a bathtub full of soap bubbles. The more ridiculous, the better. This kind of storytelling taps into a brain technique called visual association, and it's a classic tool used by memory champions around the world. But you don't need to be a champion to use it, you just need a little creativity. When you create these strange mental images, your brain links the items together in a way that's far easier to recall. So next time you're at the store, instead of reaching for your list, try remembering your silly little story. Not only is it fun, but over time, it can genuinely help improve your memory and recall. And here's a bonus, if you live with a partner, a grandchild, or even have a regular phone chat with a friend, try making it a game together. Tell them your shopping story and ask them to make their own. Share your creations and see who can remember the most items. It's a great way to connect and laugh, and that laughter is good for your brain, too. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you something personal. When was the last time you got lost in a crossword puzzle, a jigsaw, or a game of cards, not just to pass the time, but to truly challenge yourself? There's something powerful about games that make you think, that push you just a little bit, and keep your mind engaged in a focused, enjoyable way. That brings us to our third game, and this one is as old-fashioned as it gets. Ever tried the Alphabet Category Challenge? Here's how it works. Pick a category, let's say animals, and then go through the alphabet, naming one animal for each letter. A for alligator, B for bear, C for cat, and so on. Sounds easy? Wait until you hit X or Q. It's a game that sounds simple, but don't be fooled. It exercises your recall, your vocabulary, and your ability to think flexibly, especially under a little bit of pressure. You can do this on your own during a walk, or out loud with a friend over a cup of tea. Mix up the categories, foods, cities, famous people, even movies you've seen. Want to make it tougher? Try doing it backwards, from Z to A. Or set a timer and see how fast you can go. There's no right or wrong way to play, and there's no scorekeeping necessary. The goal is just to keep your mind moving, stretching in new directions, and having a little fun while you do it. One of the most beautiful things about these games is that they invite us to play, to stay curious, and to enjoy the present moment. They aren't chores. They're opportunities to engage with the world, to notice more, to laugh more, and to stay mentally connected, not just to our memories, but to who we are today. So, whether you're telling a story in reverse, turning your grocery list into a mini adventure, or marching through the alphabet one clever thought at a time, you're doing something truly valuable. You're honoring your brain by giving it what it needs most: attention, curiosity, and care. Now that we've explored a few playful ways to stretch your memory and thinking, let's keep this momentum going and look at even more brain games that don't require a single screen or gadget. Now that we've explored a few playful ways to stretch your memory and thinking, let's keep this momentum going and look at even more brain games that don't require a single screen or gadget. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where everything just feels the same? Same routine, same conversations, same meals? It's easy to fall into a rhythm, especially when you've earned the comfort of retirement and you're no longer rushing from one responsibility to the next. But here's something you might not realize: your brain thrives on novelty. It loves new challenges, even small ones, and one of the best ways to give it that spark is with a simple game I like to call Change It Up. Here's how it works. Pick something in your daily routine and do it differently. If you always brush your teeth with your right hand, try using your left. If you always walk the same route through the neighborhood, go in the opposite direction, or better yet, take a street you've never been down before. Even rearranging the books on your shelf or eating breakfast at a different time can shake things up. You see, these little changes force your brain to pay attention. They prevent your mind from running on autopilot. That's because when something becomes automatic, your brain doesn't have to work very hard to get it done. But when you introduce a small challenge, it activates new neural pathways. It's a bit like clearing out the cobwebs in a room you haven't used in a while. You don't have to completely change your life, just tweak the little things, and your brain will take notice. Another beautiful way to engage your brain is through rhythm and pattern. And no, you don't have to be a musician to benefit from this. One of the most powerful yet overlooked brain games is simply clapping to a rhythm or tapping out a pattern and then repeating it backwards. You can start with something simple: clap twice, pause, then clap once. Now repeat it in reverse: clap once, pause, then clap twice. Once that feels easy, make the pattern longer. Add a snap or a stomp. Say the pattern out loud as you go: clap, clap, pause, clap. It might feel silly at first, but don't let that stop you. That's part of what makes it so effective. Your brain has to work to remember the pattern, switch it around, and coordinate your movements at the same time. These kinds of rhythm games are especially powerful because they engage both sides of your brain, the logical, analytical side and the creative, intuitive side. They also get your body involved, which strengthens the connection between your mind and your movements. And if you enjoy music, put on your favorite song and try to tap along with the beat. Better yet, dance to it. Let your feet, hands, and brain all work together. That's real brain exercise, fun, full body, and filled with joy. You might be surprised at how quickly these simple activities can sharpen your thinking. They don't need to take more than 5 or 10 minutes a day. In fact, the key isn't doing them perfectly, it's just doing them. Over time, you'll start to notice little changes. Maybe you'll recall names a bit quicker. Maybe you'll feel more confident in conversation. Or maybe you'll just smile more often, knowing that you're actively taking care of your most important organ, your mind. And here's something I really want you to hear: it's never too late to start. Whether you're 70, 80, or even 90, your brain is capable of change. It's called neuroplasticity, and it simply means that your brain can grow new connections and adapt, no matter your age. Every time you challenge it in a small, meaningful way, you're reinforcing those connections and giving yourself a better shot at staying mentally strong and independent for years to come. One of the most powerful parts of this journey is discovering just how capable you still are. You might find that learning a new pattern or remembering a silly grocery story gives you a sense of pride. And it should. These aren't just games, they're brain nourishment. They're proof that your mind still loves a challenge, still enjoys a laugh, and still wants to grow. So the next time someone tells you, you should try brain training on the computer, you can smile and say, I've got that covered, and I don't even need a screen. Because sometimes, the old ways really are the best. A good laugh, a curious mind, a bit of rhythm, and the willingness to try something new, that's the secret. Now, let's keep going. There's still one more powerful brain game I want to share with you, and it might just be the most personal and meaningful one of all. Now, let's keep going. There's still one more powerful brain game I want to share with you, and it might just be the most personal and meaningful one of all. Have you ever found yourself reminiscing about old times, maybe a childhood memory, a family tradition, or the way things used to be when life felt a little simpler? If so, you've already dipped your toes into one of the most underrated and deeply enriching brain activities there is, storytelling. Not just any storytelling, though, I'm talking about personal storytelling. Sharing memories, reliving experiences, and turning your life into a living, breathing narrative. This isn't just good for your soul, it's incredible for your brain. Here's how to turn it into a true brain-boosting game. Each day, pick one memory from your life. It could be something small, like your first job, or something bigger, like the day you became a parent or grandparent. Then challenge yourself to recall as many details as possible, not just what happened, but where you were, what you were wearing, what the weather was like, even what emotions you felt. The more senses you engage, the more of your brain lights up. Now here's where the magic happens, say it out loud. Tell someone. A friend. A neighbor. Your grandchild. Or even just speak it to yourself while on a walk. Your brain processes stories more deeply when it hears them, not just when it thinks them. And if you want to take it a step further, write them down. Not only will you be giving your brain a rich workout, but you'll be creating something truly valuable, a legacy, a piece of your story that can live on for years to come. There's something incredibly powerful about owning your own narrative. It helps connect you to who you are and where you've been. It sharpens your memory, strengthens your communication, and even lifts your mood. And when you share these stories, you're giving someone else a gift, too. A laugh, a lesson, a piece of wisdom that only you can offer. You see, all of these games, from telling a story backwards, to crafting a silly shopping list tale, to clapping out rhythms and remembering names from A to Z, they have something in common. They're not just exercises. They're reminders that your mind is still full of life, curiosity, and power. They pull you into the moment, they make you think, they make you laugh, and they keep you engaged. And when you stay engaged with the world around you, age becomes just a number, not a limitation. Sometimes people think brain training has to be complicated. That it's something you download, or pay for, or get from a doctor's office. But the truth is, the most powerful brain tools are already within you. They're in your memories, your conversations, your creativity, your willingness to try something different. You don't need a screen or a device. You just need you, your time, your presence, and maybe a little playfulness. So, let me ask you, which of these games are you going to try first? Will you make up a wacky story to remember your to-do list? Try to name 26 cities from A to Z during your next walk? Or maybe sit down and tell your grandchild the story of how you met their grandmother or grandfather. There's no wrong place to start. Just pick one, and give it 5 or 10 minutes. You might be amazed at how quickly your brain wakes up and joins in. And if you've got a favorite brain game of your own, maybe something you used to play as a child, or a puzzle you've loved for years, share it in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. Your idea might just inspire someone else to keep their brain sharp in a whole new way. If this video gave you a little motivation, or even just made you smile, give it a like and consider subscribing for more uplifting, practical tips on staying happy, healthy, and sharp at any age. There's so much life still to live, and your mind deserves to be part of every beautiful moment. Remember, staying mentally strong isn't about being perfect or doing everything right. It's about showing up for yourself, being curious, and staying open to new experiences, even the silly ones. Because sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do for your brain is just to play. Here's to staying sharp, staying joyful, and living your best life, no matter how many candles are on the cake.